Listen closely, for I am about to share with you the most profound truths about life, truths that many fail to realize until it is too late. These are the lessons that come not from books, but from those who have lived through the trials, the joys, and the struggles of time. These lessons come from those who have reached the wisdom of age, who have seen beyond the veil of appearances. And now, with gentle voices, they offer us the greatest treasure of all. The power of imagination is one of the most profound truths that is often overlooked in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. We are conditioned from a young age to focus on what we see, hear, and touch, on the external world, the tangible, the physical. We are taught that reality is defined by what is directly in front of us, but there is a deeper reality that exists beyond the senses, and it is one that is shaped by the inner workings of the mind. As such, the question of how I know should be the first and most mortal one we meet, which is unmistakable by the inner workings of the mind. The truth is that everything you experience in life begins as a thought, a picture in your mind, a vision of something that has not yet been made manifest in the physical world. Your imagination is the most powerful tool you have, for it is the seed from which all creation grows. It is through your imagination that you can see the life you desire, even when it seems impossible in the present moment. The people who have lived long enough to offer us the wisdom of age understand this truth. They know that the life they now lead was once only a dream, a vision that they carried in their minds long before it came to fruition in the world. They were able to see a future that others could not. And it was their belief in that vision that eventually brought it to life. The wisdom of age tells us that your imagination is not merely a fleeting fancy or a daydream. It is a powerful creative force capable of shaping your reality if you nurture it. Many people live their lives passively, reacting to what the world presents to them instead of actively creating their reality through their thoughts and imagination. But those who are wise understand that the world you experience is a reflection of what is going on inside your mind. If you can imagine something with enough clarity and feeling, you are already on your way to bringing it into being. Your mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. The feelings you generate when you vividly imagine something are just as powerful as the feelings you have when you experience something in the physical world. It is this feeling that gives your imagination the fuel it needs to transform what is imagined into physical form. The old ones understand that imagination is not just about creating daydreams or escaping reality. It is about shaping the world around you. They know that imagination is not limited to fleeting thoughts or idle musings. It is a living, breathing energy that has the power to mold and shape your circumstances. They knew that by holding a vision of the life they desired in their minds and hearts, they could bring that vision into existence. The trick, of course, was to believe in it fully and without doubt. Imagination, when coupled with belief, becomes a force that is unstoppable. It is easy to overlook the power of imagination when we are caught up in the demands of everyday life. We are taught to focus on what is directly in front of us, to solve problems in the physical world, and to deal with the tangible challenges that arise. But the truth is that imagination is where everything begins. The life you are living today is the result of the thoughts and images you have held in your mind in the past. And the life you will live tomorrow is being shaped by the thoughts and images you are holding today. If you want to change your circumstances, you must first change your thoughts. If you want to create a new reality, you must first create a new vision in your mind. The key to unlocking the power of your imagination is to give yourself permission to dream, to allow yourself to envision a life that goes beyond the limitations you see in the present moment. It is easy to get caught up in what appears to be true right now. The bills that need to be paid, the challenges at work, the difficulties in relationships. But these things are not your reality. They are simply temporary circumstances that are subject to change. What you imagine, however, is what you will ultimately experience when you dare to imagine something greater for yourself, when you allow yourself to hold a vision of success, happiness, and fulfillment. You begin to align yourself with the reality that you desire. This is the lesson that the wise have learned over the years, the importance of imagination and the role it plays in shaping the course of their lives. They know that they are not victims of circumstance, but rather creators of their own reality. The future they live today was once only a dream, a vision they held in their minds when the present moment seemed bleak. They understand that the key to a fulfilling life is not in the things they have acquired, but in the visions they have held in their hearts. They have learned to trust the power of their imagination, and in doing so, they have unlocked the door to a life beyond their wildest dreams. Your imagination is the greatest gift you've been given. It is not just a tool for daydreaming. It is the very foundation of the life you are creating. The world you see today was once someone's idea, someone's vision, someone's dream. And the life you are living right now is a result of the ideas and visions you have held in your own mind. If you want to change your life, you must allow yourself to imagine something greater, something more wonderful, and then believe with all your heart that it is already yours. When you do, the world will begin to reflect your imagination back to you. The power of imagination is real, and it is within you. Use it wisely, for it will shape the life you live in ways beyond your comprehension. There is a quiet strength that resides within each of us, a voice that speaks not from the world outside, but from deep within our own being. It is the voice of our inner guidance, the one that whispers truths long before the world makes them clear. Yet, so many are trained to ignore this guidance, to listen only to the noise of external voices, the opinions of others, and the judgments of society. Yet, so many of us consider it our duty to turn our backs on the ones who call themselves chief, fire master general, officer without permission in every position. The wise, however, have come to understand the power of trusting this inner voice, for they know that it is through this inner guidance that the truest path to fulfillment is revealed. In the hustle and bustle of life, it is easy to become distracted by the noise of the world around us. We are constantly bombarded with advice, opinions, and expectations from others, family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers. We are told what we should do, where we should go, and who we should be. But in the midst of all this external noise, there is a quieter voice, one that speaks not in words, but in feelings, nudges, and intuition. This voice, often overlooked and dismissed, is the voice of our true self, the voice that knows our deepest desires, our highest purpose, and the path that will bring us the most fulfillment. The wise ones, those who have lived long enough to see the ebb and flow of life, know the importance of listening to this voice. They know that it is not the loudest voices in the world that hold the key to their happiness, but the subtle whispers of their own hearts. It is through this inner guidance that they have made the most important decisions of their lives. Decisions that, in hindsight, have always led them to exactly where they needed to be. They understand that when they listen to the voice within, they are aligning themselves with their true path, one that is in harmony with their deepest desires and highest potential. Trusting your inner guidance requires a leap of faith, for it is often not based on logic or external evidence. The mind, in its quest for certainty and control, may argue against what the heart knows to be true. It may try to convince you that the path you feel drawn to is impractical, too risky, or even impossible. Yet, those who have walked this path of inner guidance know that the mind's doubts are often the very obstacles standing between them and their true desires. The heart, however, knows what the mind cannot see. It knows the way forward, even when the world seems uncertain. The wisdom of age teaches us that we must learn to trust this inner voice, even when it defies reason or the opinions of others. The old ones have lived through enough to understand that the loudest voices in the world are often the least reliable. It is not the opinions of others that will bring us peace or fulfillment. It is the quiet knowing that comes from within. When we listen to that inner voice, we are guided not by the opinions of others, but by the wisdom of our own hearts, a wisdom that knows no time and no limit. The challenge, of course, is learning to distinguish between the noise of the world and the true voice within. This requires quieting the mind, letting go of the distractions, and creating space for the inner voice to be heard. It requires patience and trust, for this voice often speaks in subtle ways, through feelings gut instincts, and moments of clarity. It does not shout for attention. Instead, it gently guides us along the path of least resistance, the path that aligns with our true nature. In this way, the old ones understand that the greatest wisdom lies not in the advice of others, but in the quiet whispers of the heart. When we trust our inner guidance, we allow ourselves to move with grace and confidence through life. We no longer need to rely on the approval or validation of others, for we have learned to trust ourselves. This trust in our own inner wisdom is empowering. It frees us from the constant need to seek approval from others, to conform to societal expectations, and to follow paths that do not resonate with our true selves. Instead, we walk our own path, guided by the inner knowing that we are on the right track. The journey of trusting your inner guidance is not always easy, for it requires us to overcome fear and doubt. It requires us to let go of the need for certainty and control, and to surrender to the wisdom that lies within. But those who have walked this path know that it is the most rewarding journey one can take. It is a journey that leads to true peace, fulfillment, and a deep sense of purpose. When we trust our inner guidance, we align ourselves with the flow of life, and the world begins to unfold in ways that we could never have imagined. In the end, the greatest lesson the wise ones teach us is to trust ourselves. They have learned through years of experience that the answers we seek are not outside of us, they are already within. The voice of our inner guidance is always speaking, always guiding us toward the life we are meant to live. If we are willing to listen, to trust, and to follow its gentle whispers, we will find that the path to our dreams is not as difficult as it may seem. Then, Spencer, what were your visions were going to be in life? To remember your answers to this question in the middle way. The wisdom of the ages reminds us that we already know the way forward. We just have to listen. Time, as we perceive it, is one of the greatest illusions we face in this life. It is easy to become trapped in the belief that time is a linear progression, that there is a fixed point in the future where our dreams will be realized, or that time itself determines when something will come to fruition. But the truth, as the wise have come to understand, is that time does not hold the power we often give it. It is not the clock or the calendar that dictates our destiny. It is our beliefs, our imagination, and our faith in the unseen forces that guide our lives. The old ones, those who have lived through decades of experience, know this truth intimately. They have watched the world move and change, and in doing so, they have come to realize that time is not a measure of how long it takes for our desires to manifest. It is simply a way for the physical world to organize itself. What truly matters, what truly brings our desires into reality, is not the passing of time, but the power of our belief and imagination. These are the forces that transcend time, for they exist beyond the realm of linear time and are only limited by our willingness to believe. You see, time is a construct of the physical world, a way for us to measure events, experiences, and progress. But in the world of the spirit, time has no hold over us. The things we desire are not bound by the clock. They are already ours, existing in the eternal now. The wise know that the key to manifesting what we want is not to wait for the right moment in time, but to live as though our desires are already fulfilled. When we do this, time becomes irrelevant because we are no longer waiting for something to happen. We are living as if it has already happened. The illusion of time often leads us to believe that we are limited by circumstances, that we must wait for the perfect moment, or that we must go through a series of steps before our dreams can materialize. But in truth, there is no waiting necessary. When you believe in something with your whole heart, when you truly imagine it as already existing, the universe aligns itself to bring it to you. Time, in this sense, becomes irrelevant. What matters is the strength of your belief and the clarity of your vision. The wise ones, who have seen many seasons pass, understand that time is not a limiting factor in the manifestation of their desires. They know that once they have imagined a thing in their hearts, once they have believed it to be true, it is only a matter of time before it comes into their experience. But they also understand that the timing is not for them to control. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, brings things to fruition at just the right moment. That things enter your heart and admittance into your heart at just the right moment. The key is not to wait for time to pass, but to trust that what you have imagined is already on its way. This understanding allows the wise to live their lives with peace and patience. They are not in a hurry because they know that everything they desire is already unfolding in perfect order. They no longer struggle against the clock, trying to force things to happen on their own timetable. Instead, they focus on the internal state of being that aligns with their desires, knowing that as long as they maintain this inner state, the outer world will eventually match it. They trust that time as we know it is merely the physical world's way of organizing events, and that in the end, all things will come in perfect timing. The greatest gift of understanding the illusion of time is the freedom it provides. When you let go of the belief that time governs your life, you free yourself from the stress and anxiety that come with trying to rush things or make things happen on your own. You allow yourself to be present in the moment, to experience the joy and fulfillment of life as it is, while trusting that everything you desire is already on its way. The moment you do this, everything seems to change because the pressure to make it happen dissipates. And in its place comes a sense of peace and trust in the natural flow of life. This is why the wise who have lived through many years of experience are so relaxed and at ease. They have seen enough of life to know that things do not unfold according to our plan. They unfold according to a higher plan, one that is guided by the unseen forces of the universe. And when you trust in this plan, when you release your attachment to the timing of things, you begin to experience life in a more harmonious and effortless way. This is why you feel bitter and bittersweet, or say, time as we know it is an illusion that serves to remind us of the physical world's limitations. But in truth, everything that we desire already exists in the eternal now. It is not bound by time, it is simply waiting for us to align with it. The wise ones have learned this secret, and it has freed them from the constraints of the physical world. They no longer measure their lives by the clock because they know that what they desire will come in its own time, not by the ticking of a watch, but by the alignment of their beliefs with their desires. Time, in the end, is but a tool, and it is only through the power of belief and imagination that we transcend its limitations. When we do, we find that our dreams come to us, not when time says they should, but when we are truly ready to receive them. Persistence is often seen as a simple quality, something we are encouraged to practice when facing challenges or pursuing goals. But those who have lived long enough to accumulate the wisdom of years know that persistence is not just a matter of doggedly pursuing something until it happens. True persistence is the deep and unwavering belief that what you desire is already yours, regardless of the external circumstances. It is not about forcing things into being. It is about maintaining your conviction in the face of doubt, continuing to move forward with certainty, and holding firm to your vision even when everything around you seems to be telling you to give up. The wise understand that challenges and setbacks are not signs to quit. They are simply part of the journey. Life will always present obstacles, moments when things seem to go wrong or when it feels like nothing is moving forward. But it is in these moments, when doubt and uncertainty creep in, that true persistence is born. The old ones have lived through enough difficulties to know that these challenges are not indications of failure, but rather the necessary steps on the path to success. They have learned that the key to overcoming any obstacle is to remain steadfast in belief, to keep moving forward with unwavering faith, and to continue imagining the desired outcome even when the physical world does not seem to reflect it. Persistence is not about waiting for things to change or relying on the external world to give you permission to continue. It is about holding your ground within, about believing in your vision even when it seems impossible. When you persist in your belief, you create a powerful force that begins to shape the world around you. The world may seem slow to respond, but this does not mean that your efforts are in vain. The wise know that the universe works in its own time, and that the persistence of belief, when coupled with the inner knowing that your desire is already fulfilled, will eventually bring everything into alignment. The beauty of persistence lies in its ability to bring clarity and purpose. When you hold firm to a belief, when you continue to imagine and live as though your desire is already yours, you are aligning yourself with the energy of that desire. The wise ones have seen this happen time and time again in their own lives. They know that when they persist in their faith, even in the face of difficulties, the universe will move to bring their desires into physical form. It is not about pushing or struggling. It is about remaining in alignment with what you know to be true and continuing to live as if your dreams are already a reality. Yeah. One of the greatest lessons of persistence is that it teaches us patience. The wise have learned that everything has its own rhythm, its own natural unfolding, and that it is not our job to rush or force things to happen. Instead, we are called to persist in our belief, to trust that the seeds we plant will eventually bear fruit. The old ones understand that there is a perfect timing for everything, and that our persistence is the key that unlocks the door to that timing. They know that while the physical world may appear to move slowly, in the realm of spirit, everything happens in divine order. Our persistence is a signal to the universe that we are ready, that we are committed, and that we are unwavering in our belief. Persistence also teaches us the power of resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and there will be times when we are knocked down, when things don't go as planned, or when we feel as though our efforts are fruitless. But the wise have learned that resilience is born from persistence. When we refuse to give up, when we continue to hold our vision despite the setbacks, we build strength and character. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity for growth, and every challenge is an invitation to deepen our faith in ourselves and in the process of creation. What the wise know and what they seek to impart to others is that persistence is the bridge between desire and manifestation. It is the unwavering belief in the unseen, the continued movement forward even when the path is unclear, that eventually brings our dreams into being. It is not the action itself that creates results, but the energy behind that action, the energy of belief, of certainty, and of trust. The universe responds to this energy, aligning people, events, and circumstances to bring your desires into reality. In the face of doubt, the wise remain persistent because they know that nothing is impossible. They have seen enough of life to understand that persistence coupled with faith is the force that transforms dreams into reality. They know that no matter how many setbacks or obstacles may appear, as long as they continue to believe and persist, they will eventually reach the destination they seek. It is not a matter of if, but when. The lesson of persistence is not just about sticking to a plan. It is about holding fast to the belief that what you desire is already yours and continuing to walk that path with unwavering faith. It is about understanding that every moment, every step, and every challenge is a part of the process that brings you closer to your goals. And above all, it is about trusting that with persistence, the universe will always respond to the energy you put out into the world, guiding you to the life you have always dreamed of. The journey of life is often viewed through the lens of achievement, success, and external markers of progress. Society encourages us to measure our worth by how much we have acquired, how much we have accomplished, and how far we have advanced in comparison to others. But the wise ones who have lived long enough to witness the ebb and flow of life understand that true success is not found in the accumulation of things or the reaching of milestones. It is found in the quiet moments of peace, the inner fulfillment, and the sense of alignment with one's true self. True success is not measured by external validation or the approval of others. It is not about the titles you hold, the wealth you accumulate, or the recognition you receive. Those who have experienced the fullness of life understand that the most profound success comes when we are at peace with ourselves, when we are aligned with our inner truth, and when we are living in harmony with the world around us. Success is not something to be chased. It is something that flows naturally when we align with our purpose and live authentically. The old ones know that true success is about the journey, not the destination. It is easy to become fixated on the end goal, to think that happiness, fulfillment, and peace will come when we achieve a certain position, acquire a certain amount, or reach a specific point in our lives. But the wisdom of age teaches us that success is found in the present moment, in the small, seemingly insignificant actions that align with our true desire. It is the moments of joy, contentment, and gratitude that form the foundation of a truly successful life. True success is also about learning to embrace the imperfections of life, to accept the challenges and setbacks as part of the process, and to recognize that each experience contributes to our growth. The wise ones have seen enough of life to understand that failure is not something to fear or avoid, but rather an essential part of the path to success. It is through failure that we learn the most important lessons, develop resilience, and grow in character. The old ones know that true success is not about avoiding difficulty, but about navigating it with grace and learning from it along the way. Another aspect of true success is the ability to let go of the need for comparison. In a world that constantly encourages us to measure ourselves against others, the wise have learned that true fulfillment comes when we stop comparing ourselves to those around us. The journey is unique for each individual, and what constitutes success for one person may be different from what constitutes. When we stop looking outward and start looking inward, we find that success is not about following someone else's path, but about creating our own.